Yo, 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 what's up, y'all? We are here. We are live. It's your boy Tigmatic. And we are on another episode of the podcast. As usual, we moving and booming, y'all. Hey, listen, my guest is in the back, and she'll be here in a second. But until then, sit back, enjoy yourselves, and watch the tunes. We'll be right back after this, y'all.
If I kept a penny from every time you told a lie, I'd be rich. If there were no sunlight to wake me up in the morning and I miss my day, you'd be the one to blame. I spend almost every day with you and still feel lonely. Boy, I cook for you, clean up, rearrange the room, dressed up. You don't even notice. Feeling like you're always just a beat behind my heart. You never seem to pick up the pace. Am I just imagining you and I've never been? Don't tell me this is all in my head. I'm in love alone. I feel I'm in this thing on my own. You're standing right there, but you're oh so gone. Facing the fact I'm in love alone. In love alone. If I kept a teardrop every time you made me cry, who'd survive? It seems like every day you're back and forth, you're in and out, we're going down. Love shouldn't be this way. My mind's playing tricks on me, writing scripts and shit, telling my heart don't believe what my conscience said. These ain't good butterflies, I'm angry, got me all anxious. I know I've wasted my time being patient. I'm feeling like you're always just a beat behind my heart. You never seem to pick up the pace. Am I just imagining you and I've never been? Don't tell me this is all in my head. I'm in love alone. I feel I'm in this thing on my own. You're standing right there, but you're oh so gone. Facing the fact I'm in love alone. In love alone. This is fool for you. Damn, I've been a fool so long. Felt you slip, band-aided it, then kept moving on. Mrs. Fool for you. Damn, I've been a fool so long. Felt you slip, band-aided it, then kept moving on. I'm in love alone. I feel I'm in this thing on my own. You're standing right there, but you're oh so gone. Facing the fact I'm in love alone. In love alone. I'm in love alone. I feel I'm in this thing on my own. You're standing right there, but you're oh so gone. Facing the fact I'm in love alone, in love alone.
All right, folks, we are back. I am here. Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
I'm great. How you doing, brother?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm happy to see you.
Great to
I'm glad.
see you too.
How's the campaign going? Before I get into my introductions, I had to ask that. I
Look,
asked Dr. Cornell West, but now I get to ask you too. How's the campaign going?
look, it's going. It's going. It's a blessing. We got 5 days to keep going, right? 5 days for this part of the struggle to keep going. So we're excited and running around like crazy and just grateful. Tomorrow we have, I think, what will be probably our last fundraiser. So I get to go home for my mama's birthday tomorrow.
Oh, awesome.
So I'll be up in Oakland on Saturday, and we're having a fundraiser for the campaign for my mama's birthday.
That's awesome. I know you're making mama proud right now.
Look, my mother is one of those folks who we had to talk to. I mean, my mother's always been supportive, and she's visionary, and she shares the campaign vision, and also is a Black woman raised in the segregated South who understands what white supremacy is and understands Donald Trump to be the most violent form of white supremacy, and was one of the ones who had to we talked to. She's always my guide, right? About what a vote for West Abdullah means, because the Democratic Party have done such a job on making people think that they have to vote according to their fear. And so my mama, who is from Beaumont, Texas, right? We talked through, how in California, it's actually not just more courageous, but more strategic to invest your vote in a third party candidate that you believe in, like Cornel West. And so one of the great things that has happened through this campaign is my mother's unwavering support for the West Abdullah ticket. And then my extended family who's still in Beaumont.
That's
right?
awesome.
They're part of the electors in Beaumont. So my uncles, my aunties are all electors in Beaumont.
That's awesome. So I wrote a personal introduction, just like I did for Dr. West. I did one for you as well. And I am going to read this to the folks. Bear with me, y'all. I'm on camera, so sometimes I get the jitters and stutter a little bit. But I'm going to get through this, and I hope you like it, Doc. All right. So bear with me, y'all. All right. Yo, stepping into the scene is Dr. Melina Abdullah, coming straight out of Cal State, LA. The fearless professor, the people's voice, and the frontline fighter for justice and truth. She's repping the movement from the classroom to the streets, elevating communities with every word she speaks. She's the heartbeat of the people, pushing for change that matters, breaking barriers, and fighting the path for the next generation. The movement's got a new vibe with Dr. Abdullah on the track, ready to take the fight all the way up. From Black Lives Matter to the ballot, give it up for the VP candidate, Dr. Melina Abdullah, ready to make history and bring the power back to the people.
Oh, wow. That's an honor. Thank you so much for that introduction. Really, really appreciate it.
All right. All right. So before we get into it, tell us a bit about this journey that you have been on with Dr. West.
Well, it's been an incredible 7 months. So I was tapped by Dr. West at the end of March, and we made the announcement in early April that I was his running mate. And when he asked me to run, and I think I've told you this story before, so I apologize for repeating myself a little bit, but I always said to everybody in the world, I will never, ever, ever run for political office. I'll never run for political office because, we talked about how proud my mother doesn't like to use the word proud, but how proud she is of me now.
Right.
And there's also things that she says are the most terrible things in her life. And the one is that I like to cuss a lot. Like I cuss a whole lot, and my mom hates it. But I cuss a lot. And I like to stand outside the system and cuss out unrighteous politicians, right? It's my
Right. Right.
And so I was much more comfortable doing that. And I thought that's what I'd always be doing. And, was happy and encouraged and excited and, beyond enthusiastic, inspired when Dr. West announced his candidacy. And really was content to be a really ardent supporter of his. Never imagined that he would invite me to be his running mate, but he did. And who could say no to one of their heroes, one of their models, someone like Cornel West, who is the mind of our time, I say all the time, and I don't believe it's an overstatement, he is literally the smartest man in the world, right?
Right. I feel like that too.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, you see the sticker, right?
Oh, wow. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that. And so, when he invited me, I couldn't say no. It's been transformational. It's done a lot of things that people could expect, like eat up my sleep time, which I don't get enough of anyway.
I understand that.
It's put me in conversations with people who I normally wouldn't have been in conversation with. It's given me new connections, including my connection with you, right?
Absolutely.
But also things that, and I've never said this before, but I've been deeply grateful. We were on a call yesterday morning, a leadership team call for the campaign. And Dr. West's brother is really close with him, and he's been really important to the campaign. And then I reflected on, I have a brother, and my brother and we play a lot of dominoes, and we talk a lot of stuff together, and we joke about our mama, and have little. We look exactly alike. He looks like the male version of me, right?
Right. Right.
But I've never been this close to my brother in my whole life, and it's because he believes in it. I'm closer with my family, my extended family in Texas, than I've ever been in my whole life.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm close with my children, right? Like my oldest daughter will call me, they're in South Africa right now. So they'll call me at 4:00 in the morning and go, "Did you see what that other campaign said about blah, blah, blah? Let me text you." And then my middle daughter,
Drop, huh?
yeah, my middle daughter has actually recruited her classmates at Southern University to be electors for us in Louisiana, where we're on the ballot.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
So,
awesome.
so I'm sorry for talking so long, but you asked,
You're fine.
what's this
You're fine.
campaign been like? And there's, the things that people could anticipate and that I could have anticipated, but I didn't anticipate that. I didn't anticipate the way personally and, intimately I've been affected by the process of campaigning, by the process of running what we call a people powered campaign, a campaign that don't have no money. So we
Right.
got to rely on family to do things, and it's really brought us together in really beautiful ways.
Right. So let's start with the first question. I played the clip. earlier, and I know you saw the clip because you posted it as well. And the clip was from our last episode. So I'm gonna start with that particular portion of the episode when we spoke on, the homelessness, right? And the reason I'm starting with the homelessness is because this country suffers from it heavy in every major city, right? What is something that you feel as though you and Dr. West can tackle on this problem?
Well, were we to be elected, we'd be able to solve homelessness. And I know that sounds like a really tall order, but
Right.
there should be zero homelessness in this country, and we have the resources to house everybody. So were we to be elected, we would simply move money away from systems of harm and direct it to systems of care. And I know that at the base of that is people having all of what they need, which includes shelter fit for the inhabitants of human beings, which is what the Black Panther Party used to say. Shelter fit for the inhabitants of human beings. We can have that. In fact, we were sitting in my living room yesterday, and we were talking about this sky rise. Is that what it's called? Yeah, sky rise. That's in skyscraper, high rise skyscraper downtown in Los Angeles,
Right.
where these global investors started building this high rise, this massive high rise, and it's almost finished, but they ran out of money, right? You're
Mhm.
talking about at least 40, 50 stories in the sky.
Mm.
We could house all of downtown. All of the unhoused people in downtown could be moved into that building if we so chose. But, we got to remember that budgets are choices. And so one of the things that has happened is this corporate owned duopoly has chosen to be in the pockets of the investors, the capitalist class investors that built the skyscraper, rather than saying, no, they didn't finish the skyscraper. It's now an eyesore. And I know it's all over social media. Taggers have been tagging up this brand new skyscraper, right? And it sits empty. If we were on the side of the people, if we had elected officials who were on the side of the people, you could seize that skyscraper and move unhoused people in it. And there's examples of that everywhere. They talk about a housing shortage, but there's plenty of land and plenty of places for people to live in this country. And it's just a lack of will. And, I know you're from, well, you live in North Carolina.
But I'm
I'm
from
sure
Philly.
they have
Yeah.
this saying that my family also has, which is, you got to know not just who you are, but whose you are. And the
Right.
corporate owned duopoly is owned by the corporations, but we're owned by the people. And so we could solve homelessness just by redirecting dollars, not even generating new dollars, redirecting dollars so that
Right.
we can house our folks.
That's awesome. So, I believe that that's something that could be beneficial for everyone as far as the homelessness situation. And I think there are other parts to it that connect the dots as far as that. Because if you want to solve homelessness, you also have to solve the other issues that come with that. For some of them, it's financial, but some of them it isn't. Like the war on drugs, for instance. We have a high level cases of fentanyl going on around the country. It's a lot of that going on and everything. How do you plan to tackle that as well?
Right. So first, when we talk about the relationship between drug use or mental health and homelessness, it's important to know that the vast majority of those who are unhoused are unhoused because they simply don't have the money to pay the rent.
Right.
These are not people who are all, struggling with mental health or struggling with drug addiction.
Absolutely.
However, the inverse is true, that once they're unhoused, it actually does cause mental health challenges. I think that
Mm-hmm.
what they say is like 7 days of living on the streets
Mm-hmm.
um, will make you mentally ill, right?
Absolutely.
And so we should understand that we would help to solve mental health issues. We would help to solve drug abuse issues when we house our folks. We also have to remember that we made light of 2020. And I don't mean just the Black Lives Matter organizing that I'm proud to be a part of in 2020. I'm also talking about the pandemic,
Right.
that we acted like it was normal to experience a time when, if you hearken back to 2020, early 2020, that day that the NBA canceled their games, I think that we
In the
all
bubble.
understood
Yeah, in the bubble.
this is serious.
Right.
This ain't a few people getting sick. This is
Right.
serious.
Right.
And then, brother, I don't know what you thought, but I know what I thought. Oh, this is the end of the world. The end of the world is happening. It
This
felt
was the
like
first. I felt, honestly, I felt like it was like I felt like it was like the first genocidal attack I've ever witnessed. So that's how I felt about it.
every dystopic novel or movie, right? It felt like
Right.
we living in it, right?
Right.
And then when it was a lockdown, you can't leave your house. You know,
Right.
that was, and if that's how I'm feeling, as at the time, I'm now 52, right? So I guess at the time I was 48 years old, a good and grown woman, right? If that's how I'm feeling as a mama, what are my children feeling, right?
Right.
Um,
I can imagine.
and so we can't act like 2020 and this pandemic just passed and didn't leave marks. There's been no national effort since the pandemic to address the mental health fallout from the pandemic. That these
Absolutely.
kids aren't okay, but these adults aren't okay either. So when you talk about, drug addiction or drug abuse or alcohol abuse, we have to remember that most of those who are abusing drugs and alcohol are doing it as a form of self-medication, when if we addressed the underlying issues, we'd have much, much less of it. And so those are the things that we're recognizing that there's really a health response, including a mental health response, that has to be enacted.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What is your vision for America and how do you plan to unite a deeply divided nation?
Well, it sounds simple, but I envision, and we envision, Dr. West and I both envision, I always say it this way, a country, but also a world where we have all of what we need and most of what we want. All of what we need and most of what we want, where we all have all of what we need and most of what we want. And
Right.
again, this is a world and a nation of abundance. There is more than enough for everybody to be housed and fed and have good health care and free time to invest in our art and our spirituality. There is more than enough for that to happen. Our vision is to make that real. Um, and when you talk about a deeply divided nation, I think some of the divisions are manufactured divisions because they feed the real division. The real divisions in this country are the divisions. It's the divide between the haves and the have-nots, right?
Right.
It's the divide that says that, a corporate, a capitalist, an ownership class, a white supremacist capitalist class can have more than what they need and, be as greedy as they want to be. And it creates a world of scarcity for everybody else. And so I think the divide that's real means, to address the divide that's real means transforming systems that say, no, you don't get to have 4, 5, 6. I feel like Tupac. I don't know if you ever saw him speak
Oh, I
on that.
saw Tupac. That was one of my favorite rappers of all time. He's definitely up there. He's not my top. I got Big before him, but
Oh no! See, I thought I liked you.
the reason I had Big before him, though, is only because once upon a time in my life, and you know this story because I told you, but I was living a certain way. So I was more attached to his lingo then. So, yeah, but as I, grew older, I was listening to them both at the same time, but Tupac was more morally conscious. Him and Nas were like the most morally conscious rappers at that time to listen to, and I love them both, as well as Q-Tip, Brand Nubian, and a bunch of others. But I could have that conversation all day. But continue.
Yeah, well, for me, Pac is number one for many, many reasons.
That's dope. See, y'all hear that, y'all? Doc Melly Mel know her hip hop. And she said Pac is her number one. Y'all hear it.
Yeah, and we could have a whole nother show on why, and I would try to we come with some evidence, right? Some evidence being the greatest. But Pac in an interview when he was very young talked about how it's just unfair. So I mean, anybody could see it because I think he was a teenager in this interview. And he talked about how it's just not fair for some people to have 4, 5, 6 houses and some people live on the streets.
Yes, I remember that interview.
It's just not fair. It's just not like what did he say? How many cars can you drive at one time?
Yeah.
Right? You got 20 cars and somebody else got no cars? Nah. And that's just, people might call it socialism or whatever, but that's basic fundamental fairness,
Right. Yeah, I understand it because how much do you really need if you got everything that you need, that you want? And that goes back to what you was talking about, everybody having everything that they want and everything that they need as well. So I think that's pretty dope. So given your background in activism, how do you plan to incorporate social justice initiatives into your policy agenda?
Well, our policy agenda comes from the social justice work, the racial justice work, right? That's where it's derived from. So, we see this campaign as an extension of the work that we do on the ground. When we talk about upending systems of policing that descend from slave catching, that comes from the work of Black Lives Matter grassroots.
Right.
When we talk about, healthcare justice, not just healthcare for all, that comes from the work of people who've been invested in making sure that Black mothers survive childbirth and their babies do too, right? When we talk about, freedom of choice, reproductive justice, we're not just talking about the right to an abortion. We're talking about the right to have children if that's what you choose, rather than having to make economic decisions that might challenge mothers to do things that they might not want to do. Now, we believe in a freedom of choice, but it needs to be a full range of choices, right?
Absolutely.
When we talk about worker justice, we're talking about, here in the state of California, which is one of the most expensive states to live in, we're voting on whether or not to raise the minimum wage to $18 an hour. We know a livable wage nationally requires at least $27 an hour. So
that would be a great move for everybody, because everybody could, I'm gonna say it how I would say, everybody could eat.
Everybody could eat.
27. Yeah, right. Everybody could eat.
Everybody could eat. And it's not, you don't have to have 3, 4 jobs and have no time with your family. You can have a job, do a good job, contribute to the world, and then go home and live in a way that respects who we are as human beings, All
right. So before I go into my next question, here's one side question.
Okay.
Tell people the difference between Black Lives Matter grassroots and this other Black Lives Matter we see around here, and tell the story behind it, because people have been wondering what's going on. And they're asking me too, because, we have our connection with grassroots and we're doing our thing down here. So tell the people and explain it the best way you can, only like you can, because you Doc Melly Mel and you tell it straight up like it is.
Thank you. So I'm gonna be hella straight up then.
All right.
And I'll try to be succinct with it because it can get long. So I'm one of the original members of Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter was born July 13th, 2013, which is
Okay.
the day that George Zimmerman was acquitted in the murder of Trayvon Martin.
All right.
And most of us, many of us in cities all across the country rose up and said, no, they won't keep stealing the lives of our children. And so we organized in Los Angeles. We shut the city down for days, right? Cars didn't move, freeways got shut down.
Right.
We disrupted, places of where white tourists went. We went to Hollywood and Highland. We shut down Beverly Hills. There'd never been a shutdown like that in Beverly Hills. So when people think of Black Lives Matter, they think of that. They think of those disruptions. They think of boots on the ground, people in the streets. And that's the work that we've been doing. We continue to do that work with virtually no money and very little in the way of platforms. So in the early years of Black Lives Matter, there was no money. We were not a 501c3. We weren't trying to get grants. It was financed out of my own pocket, out of Sister Jan's own pocket, out of whatever we got when we passed a hat. And those dollars would be used to buy $1 burritos for the meetings or to buy the poster board and markers for protests, right?
Right.
It wasn't until 2020 that we got any real money. That when Ahmaud Arbery was murdered by white supremacists in Georgia, right? When Breonna Taylor was murdered by police in Louisville, when George Floyd had a knee ground into his neck for more than 9 minutes, killing this Black father, people who were at home because of the pandemic and couldn't look away became very invested in Black Lives Matter, which had by then been going for 7 years.
Right.
And the question became, because there are 3 women that are considered the co-founders of Black Lives Matter. One of them was a dear friend of mine. Her name is Patrice Cullors. The other 2 had stepped away from the organizing work by then. The question became, what were we going to do in this moment? I always describe it as a moment when the world cracked wide open.
Right.
Well, I'm an organizer. I'm an activist. So I knew it's time to get busy as we can, right? And run full steam ahead to do all that we can while this world is cracked wide open. The agreement was that Patrice would work on, because we'd never had money before, Patrice would work on infrastructure and I would continue my work with organizing. At the time, we had 40 chapters around the world, actually.
Right.
So that's what we did. Of course, everybody's read about all of the hits on Black Lives Matter because no work to undo, to be an abolitionist, would come without repercussions. Now,
absolutely.
I said before, a 52-year-old Black woman from East Oakland, right, who was raised in a neighborhood where I often talk about the number of times I've had guns pulled on me and the number of times I went to jail. Let me be clear. That was for the movement. That was not my first time, right? Those are not my first times.
Right. That's being real, straight up.
Right. I'm grateful to have lived a life that has thickened my skin. I don't care if people cuss me out or troll me online, right? That, like, the words we used to use are things like say it to my face, right? Say it to my face. You could, I don't care, talk all the shit you want. If you ain't gonna say it to my face, it don't mean nothing. But I'm a different generation and a different upbringing than millennials who have not necessarily, and thank God they haven't had to experience what I experienced growing up in East Oakland, right?
Right.
At the height of the drug epidemic, right? At the crack cocaine epidemic. Thank God they didn't have to live through that. But I did, and it made my skin really thick. For Patrice, her response, and I'm not condemning or belittling her response, but her response was, and I'll share it because she shares it, she needed to step away. And what she wound up doing is putting highly paid consultants in place that were supposed to transition all of the movement's resources over to me specifically. I was building Black Lives Matter grassroots chapters. I wasn't looking at the purse or the infrastructure. Unfortunately, by 2022, that consultant decided that he was not going to, his exact words in a phone call to me were, I've decided to keep it indefinitely and build a board of people I trust. Now, this person, because I believe in telling the truth and shaming the devil, one of the devil's names is Shalomia Bowers, right? He's the highly paid consultant who in the first year in 2020 paid himself $2.2 million. I think the most recent tax filing shows that he paid himself upwards of $5 million last year. And brought in other people who have now threatened to sue me if I keep saying their names. But like I said, I'm from East Oakland. So fuck Cecily Gay, right? Her name is Gay. Who bought a mini mansion with stolen money, who has gotten new teeth and plastic surgery and all kinds of a redo and vacations on Martha's Vineyard with our money, with the money that came from the blood of Mike Brown and the blood of Trayvon Martin.
And Ahmaud Arbery. Right. So
that's
this is what I wanted to ask you this for, and I'm glad not to cut you off. I'm going to let you finish.
I'm sorry.
But the reason I wanted to say this and ask you this question, because this is the main thing that needs to be understood, because we hear about people getting locked up for embezzlement and stealing money and all of that. And they need to know that's not attached to you. That's attached to them, correct?
Well, we hope they will get locked up for embezzlement. Now, I don't call popo on people, but look, I'm not going to cry if the FBI comes knocking on Shalomia Bowers or Cecily
Right.
Gay.
There were some people that did get locked up over it.
Right.
And that wasn't a part of grassroots, correct?
No. So BLM Grassroots, we sued them in September of, it was 2022, September of 2022, to try to get not just our dollars back, but our dollars, our platforms, which included, we had built up our Instagram following to about 5 million followers. And our good name, like you're saying, brother, like people are confused because they own BLK Lives Matter. If you go to blacklivesmatter.com, that's not us. It sounds like the Democratic Party because they were Democratic Party consultants, right? They were never movement people.
Right.
And so we still want our money, our platforms, and our good name back. We sued them, but unfortunately, since they have the money, we don't have the money. We can't overcome their challenges. They literally hired Hillary Clinton's attorney to represent them. That's who their in-house attorney is Hillary Clinton's attorney. We don't have anywhere near the kind of money that we need to be able to fight them.
Man, that's crazy because, for people to come and try to hijack a movement that they did not create is crazy within itself. And I'm glad that you brought this to light and shared that with the people, because like you said, they need to know. And that's what I wanted them to know, the difference between the two. And if people are profiting, they're really doing it just to profit. They're not doing it really for the cause. So
that's right. So let's just also be clear. If you're following any social media that is BLK Lives Matter, please unfollow BLK Lives Matter and please immediately follow BLM Grassroots. BLM Grassroots.
That's right. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it up here on the screen so they can see it right here. Boom. Yeah. So, all right. Here's my next question. What are your top 3 policy priorities and how do you plan to address them?
Top three. So we have a lot of them. I would say my top three would probably be ending the war, ending the funding of war. So this country spends an inordinate amount of money funding war, right? So we have to stop the genocide in Gaza. We have to stop funding Israel. We have to stop arming Israel. That would be number one, divest from war. Number two would be reparations for Black people. And I mean real reparations, reparations that begins with a check, right? Not
Right.
don't give me an apology if you still got my stolen money, right? So reparations. And then of course, you know, I know it's not the trendiest thing to talk about anymore, but police are still killing Black people. And
Absolutely.
so, you know, ending police violence and divesting from police, which is turning into the military at home, right? When we talk about cop cities, and I say cities plural, people are familiar with Cop City in Atlanta that we're trying to stop, but there's 86 cop cities in different stages of development all around this country. And just like defunding the military, defunding the Pentagon so that we can have resources here, when we defund this militarized policing, we have resources for communities. So I would say those are probably my top three. It doesn't mean that other things are not important, but I would say if I have to name three, that would be it.
Awesome. Awesome. And I think that you know, the funding for wars, a lot of that money, like I told Dr. West the day before yesterday, a lot of that money could go towards the people that need it.
That's right.
And I'm going to double back to this reparations thing because I hear you mention it constantly, right? Dr. West also spoke on it as well when I asked him, because I went back and watched tape and watched our interview. I watched it a couple times, actually. Our interviews are good. Not to, you know,
we got a great journalist interviewing us. That's
right.
Great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But I went back, watched tape, and I heard Dr. West say 258,000. Anywhere between 258,000 or 350,000. Do you agree with that number as well?
Per person?
Yes.
At least.
Okay.
That's Dr. West knows the data much more than I do. But those are the estimates of what we're owed per person. And that's a low ball number, right?
Yeah, because I feel like, honestly, and I wanted to wait because I wanted to get his take and get yours. So you go ahead and say your take, and then I'll say what I think.
Well, I think the Darity research says 258 to 400, I think, is the range that is estimated per person if we talk about lineage-based reparations. So this is people like you and me who can trace our ancestry. Back, you know, the first, I know her name. Her name is my middle name. The first person in my family to be brought here enslaved was my great grandmother, great grandmother Rachel, who was brought into
for that correction whisper.
Sabine Pass, Texas, right? And so we can talk about the generations of work that were stolen from us, and this is an estimate of what that wealth would be at this point. Now, some would say, you know, I've seen other data that says it's closer to 10 times that, like 2 million a person.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. I was going to say, I feel like we should at least all get at least $2.4 million a piece.
Right.
That's how I feel. And that's because of how our ancestors went through so much and bled over this country. And got lynched and just went through the worst of the worst and are still getting lynched to this day.
Well, it's also that generationally, when you talk about how many generations of wealth were stolen, that doesn't include, to me, when you talk about 258
Right.
or 400, that doesn't include at all the punitive damages, which are unimaginable. When we talk about, what happened to our great grandmothers, or that, on the other side of my family, Grandma Rebecca was 14 years old when she had her master's child, at 14 years old.
Right.
What
And
does
that's a
that
lot of
mean?
mental anguish that get passed on from generation to generation as well.
And then has to raise that baby and not acknowledge that she was raped as a child,
Right.
to bear that child, right? And so I think the punitive damages are just unimaginable.
Absolutely. And not
Immeasurable, right?
yeah,
Immeasurable. Mhm.
yes. And not to mention, even the inventors that, were slaves that invented things and then their masters went and patented everything and claimed it as theirs when it wasn't their invention to begin with. We
Right.
can improve some of that because of it, but that's another thing that made them have the one up on us. So
Right.
um
Well, look, what you're pointing to, though, is also it's not just a debt that government owes us, because people get scared when you start talking about $1 million figures. Well, how can this country afford it? Well, first of all, this country spends trillions of dollars a year on the Pentagon budget, right?
absolutely.
So we can afford it. Maybe they gonna have to make some payments, but we can afford, the country can afford it. But
Right.
two, it's not just the government that owes us. When you talk about the theft of, inventions, when you talk about the way in which insurance companies, State Farm, farmers, issued their first insurance policies and made their first profit off of enslaved people. Their first policies were issued to those who dared call themselves our owner to insure them against us running away. That's how they made their first profit. Chase Bank, how did it make its first profit, right? Wells Fargo, how did it make its first profit? So it's not these Ivy League institutions, how were they built, right? So it's not just government that owes us, it's also corporate America that owes us.
It's crazy that you mentioned those two banks when those two banks are the two banks that know they profited off us through slavery and things like that. So now they're trying to give back in a way by giving loans to minorities. And still, a lot of minorities are still getting denied from these same two banks that you just mentioned.
That's
So,
right.
yeah, so I like where you're going with that. And I appreciate the fact that you even brought that up because a lot of people aren't hip to what's going on, and it's because a lot of us are, ignorant, especially in our culture. We don't pay attention to what's going on, and some of us are waking up, and that's a great thing. Um, I'm
And
here to serve.
they're deliberately undereducating and miseducating us, right? So they're
That
deliberately,
too, but some of us are choosing to not want to know at all. I
right.
see it. I
But
literally see
but
it in
we
my
also
neighborhood.
have to remember that every system is deliberately set up to produce the outcomes that it does. So why is this not taught to children in schools? There is I never heard of reparations, and I went to a high school that had a whole Black Studies
That's
department.
the fact. I had to get older to get to know what reparations was myself, so I agree with you there.
Right.
Yeah. So, which leads to the next question. That was a great segue. Education. What changes do you believe are necessary in our education system to promote equity and quality for all students?
So first of all, education has to be free. Pre-K through PhD. Education has to be free. Education should also be open and accessible to all. So one of the things I do with my classes is I actually broadcast my class on my Facebook page so that, maybe you don't have the money or the time or the transportation to get to campus or register for a class, but you can still, I'm not going to grade your paper, but you can still come to my class, right? You can still read along with us. We can still talk about things like, what is US imperialism and how does that tie into the class that I teach is called intersectional Blackness, right?
Right.
Why are we talking about gender when we were talking about Blackness? Well, Black people come in all genders. It's not a taken away from Black people to talk about gender, right? And so to engage in those conversations is really important, and it should be accessible to everyone. Another major ones of my fight. So I feel like I've struggled my entire life on two fronts. One is abolishing the system of policing that descends from slave catching, right?
Right.
Through the work that I do with Black Lives Matter grassroots. But two is the struggle for ethnic studies. And some people say, well, how do those two things go together? Well, if you look at the 10-point platform of the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, point number 5 is to create a system of education that tells the truth. And so in advancing ethnic studies and Black studies in particular is a form of education that acknowledges and embraces the idea that intellectual tools absolutely have to be developed, but they're useless if you don't develop the intellectual tools for the liberation of our people. And so we tie the classroom to what's happening in community. So I would say that the three primary ways that we have to change education in this country is to understand that ethnic studies and Black studies in particular is the first ethnic studies discipline, has to be as central to education as math, as science, as anything else, right? I've never needed to know how to dissect a frog, but we should know that Columbus didn't discover America and Lincoln didn't free the slaves, right? So, that the second thing would be accessibility, that everyone who wants to go should be able to go. And third, and maybe this is the most important thing, is that education should be free, pre-K through PhD.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. Technology and privacy. With the rise of technology, how do you plan to balance innovation with the need for privacy and security?
See, now you're going to make me anxious because the technology.
Now, I didn't ask Dr. West certain questions because I wanted to ask you, because I wanted to, shift it a little bit. I asked him a lot of tough questions as well. And he said that too, like, wow, you're asking some crazy questions. It's like, I want to ask these things because I feel as though they're important.
They are important. I think that we are, and my initial response to technology can be one of anxiety. Yesterday, I haven't posted it yet, but in LA, they're testing these driverless cars, and they're all over the place. And I'm like, now what if it stopped at the red light, but would it know that if I was walking slow because I didn't make it quite across the street, or I dropped my phone and doubled back and had to pick it up, would it be able to stop for me? Right?
Well, multiple cameras everywhere on these cars too.
Right. So then what else is it so there's the safety of it, but what else is it tracking? Right? People talk about, oh, well, we could just put surveillance cameras everywhere and that would solve crime or so-called crime. No, I don't want to be surveilled that way. So the initial response is anxiety for me when we talk about how rapidly technology is moving. But when we step back and think about technology for the people, there's also tremendous opportunity in technology. Like when you talk about things like ChatGPT, most educators like me go, oh no, they're going to put us out of a job, right? But ChatGPT can't capture spirit, right?
Right?
When you come into my classroom, you're going to feel something, not just think something. What ChatGPT can do is save me from having to waste my time grading, right? Like, I don't have to grade all the papers, right? Especially the ones where I'm just testing you on, were you listening, right?
Right.
And so technology for the people could be, everybody's hearing about robots, could be that a robot cleans your house. I don't lose any piece of my soul by having someone else clean my toilet. If a robot cleans my toilet, go ahead, robot, right? The terrible thing is that technology is another one of those resources that's being hoarded by the ownership class for the benefit of capitalism rather than for the benefit of the workers.
Absolutely. I'll be honest, when it comes to this thing with robotics, and I do have a family member who was just on here recently who works at Tesla. I feel like Skynet is upon us. And when I say that, that's the reference to Terminator, but I feel that way because when I think of it, I don't really trust that one day the robots won't switch on us, because as they grow and learn and have learning capabilities, their knowledge of protecting us will be different. So when we see it on movies, it's actually happening in real time. Their innovation will change because AI will continue to grow.
Because it grows exponentially. That's the
Absolutely. So, when I think about that, I think about how, it could be more harm than good for us. Alexa, pause.
It's 8 p.m.
Alexa, mute. Oh my God.
Talking about
Alexa,
technology. Alexa said, oh no, you talking about my cousins.
Yeah. But that's a prime example. She came right on in the moment where I was trying to explain exactly what I felt. Right. So, so it could cause more harm than good in some cases. Now, like you said, it could help in a lot of ways. So I think that we're moving a little too fast with technology right now. And I think that, we should slow down a bit and do a lot more testing, like you said, especially with these vehicles and things like that. So here's my next question. Okay, economic policy.
I'm coming up on time because my kiddos are home.
Okay, I'm gonna ask. I only got 3 more questions anyway. 3 more.
Okay, I'll go fast.
Okay, economic policy. How do you plan to? Oh no! I just did that one. International relations. What is your approach to foreign policy, particularly regarding diplomacy and humanitarian issues?
Well, I think Dr. West says it best that we want to head the empire so that we can dismantle the empire. That the United States shouldn't seek to be the sole power, the superpower of the world. We should be a nation among nations. And I look forward to that being what happens under a Dr. West, under a Cornel West administration. That's what you have.
Absolutely.
The U.S. as a nation among nations.
Oh man, no, that's an answer. Okay, youth engagement. What steps will you take to encourage and empower young people in the political process?
I think we already are, right? I think we already are. We need to remember that the people who are motivated and mobilized to vote for a West Abdullah ticket are people who were uninspired or opposed to a Democratic Party, hang on, or Republican Party agenda. Sorry about that. Oh, that's Mama Paula. Give me just 1 second.
Folks, if you're just tuning in, we have Vice Presidential candidate Dr. Melina Abdullah, aka Doc Melly Mel. She's here, keeping it real. She was telling it like it is out here. And listen,
I may have to hop off in a second, brother. So
this is the last one. This is the last and final question.
Okay.
All right. So last and final question, and this is a great question, by the way, because I wanted to hear how you felt about this. Personal motivation. What motivated you to run for vice president, and what personal experiences shape your perspective on leadership?
Sure. So I think I already shared. I never, ever, ever, ever plan to run for office.
Yes, you did share that.
What pulled me in was just being inspired by a campaign by someone who was not running based on his own political ambition either, that he felt called to do this, and to be running on a platform of truth, justice, and love. Who can say no to that, right? What
Absolutely.
inspires me around leadership, I try to embrace and exercise the model of leadership advanced by Mama Ella Baker, that we need group-centered leadership, not leader-centered groups. And so that means pulling all of us into the process of leadership, recognizing that we all have gifts, skills, talents, resources that are vital to movement, and encouraging everyone to bring those to the transformation of the world.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Doc, this was an amazing interview. It's always a pleasure. As always, I know you got to go. So I'm going to close it out like that. And you're always welcome back. You know that. And next we have Terry. I'm interviewing Terry on the 6th.
Terry Wilson?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. About
Terry
BLM?
will be on the 6th. So, yeah.
Okay, we got to prep him. He's great. He's great. What you about BLM Boise or?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's good to know.
Yep. BLM Boise will be the topic of discussion, and we'll talk about some things, and the mental health part of it as well. I wanted to talk about your this is like the last few days. So last few things. Tell people why they should vote for Dr. Melina Abdullah and President Cornel West.
Because you believe in truth, justice, and love, because we should vote our vision, not our fear. We say we would love your vote for Dr. Cornel West and Melina Abdullah. We are on the ballot, printed on the ballot in 16 states, including South Carolina, North Carolina. And we also are write-ins in many, many other states. Almost every state that you're in, you can vote for us in one way or another. And I think that that's a way of toppling the corporate-owned duopoly and investing in the people. We also want people to continue to organize. We say vote and organize. Organize after November 5th. You can organize with us in BLM Grassroots, and go to blmgrassroots.org or BLM Grassroots on all social media to follow our work. And brother, I think one of the things that's coming up that I hope we can talk about before November 29th is we're moving into Black Xmas season, which is the season where we build Black, buy Black, bank Black. And we started to kind of get to some of those questions, but I'd love to talk about why that's so important as we talk about liberation.
Oh yeah, we can always double back and talk about a lot of things. You already know this is the hub right here, for down here, and I want the people to know that. And you've mentioned this several times, so when y'all hear it from the Queen here, y'all know it's real.
Thank you again for having us.
Thank you for coming on. Have a great night. Enjoy yourself. And I already voted for you. But go vote for Dr. Cornel West and Dr. Melina Abdullah, folks. Hey, listen. It's your boy Matic. I'm going to play a couple more tunes. Doc, you can go ahead and head out and enjoy your night. But I'm going to talk a little bit more to the folks as before I end it, okay?
Okay, sounds good. Appreciate
all right, you have a good night, all right?
You too.
All right. Hey, folks, listen. This is what I'm saying to y'all. You had to have the real. You had to have what it's like to know the difference between the BLMs that you hear about. You have a real one right here. You heard Dr. Cornel West the day before yesterday. You heard him. You heard what he had to say. Now you hear his VP candidate running mate, and you heard what she had to say. And listen, they tell it like it is, and that's why they got my vote. I'm gonna be real with y'all. we shouldn't have to, vote between the lesser evils. You know what I'm saying? We should just have some people that's not evil, But listen, thank y'all for tuning in as always. Puerto Rico, UK, Australia, up top, Philly, DC, Maryland, thank y'all very much. Virginia, I just found out people in Virginia is watching. Thank y'all very much. Thank y'all for everybody that tuned into the Blue Sky Show and tuned into it. Was thousands and thousands of people watching the show as well. Thank y'all for that. I appreciate the love. I appreciate everything you guys are doing. We just growing strong, and we're just going to continue to bring all types of interviews, and everything won't be political, but I keep it music too. We getting back to the music, but this is a political time right now, so it's only right that we do it this way. And we have to have things of substance to the people. We can't just do every show like everybody else and just do hip hop, street stuff. Like me, I'm a little different. I want to bring a little bit of something different for everybody. So thank y'all for watching. It's your boy Tigmatic. I'm going to play 2 songs and we out of here.
Ooh, Rocky
I remember when I first started, on go like Monopoly boards. I need a place to park it. I used to always want to have a boat, but I always had the iron on me. Shoot, I always kept it toast. I used to always want the race car, but I always had my dogs, man, and that was who I needed most. You get the boot, you don't want the thimble. Little man on a horse, I was sport like a polo symbol. What you want ain't always what you need, and what you need ain't always what you want. If they try to make you play the back, tell them that Rosa Parks sat in the front. It's like I need to be alone, I wanna be in my zone. Just like I need my contacts, but don't want a phone. I got them anywhere in minutes, cause I love to roam. I tell her that it's open field, but I love the dome. She keeps screaming I'm a dog, cause I love the bone. She gon' make me growl at her all through the phone. How you miss me, you don't hit me up. You see me, girl, I'm still standing, I ain't ever duck. Listen up, what you want ain't always what you need, and what you need ain't always what you want. If they try to make you play the back, tell them that Rosa Parks sat in the front. Every time neighbors say I wouldn't be nothing, I reply back that I'ma keep coming. I'm high right now, when I hit the ground, I'ma be running. They gon' make me have to book a T something, see something gotta give, or for a fit for you to be something. So it's best that you don't wanna need, youngin'. The difference between something you dream and something that seen nothing but a bunch of people that be mean mugging. See, youngin', look, I've been in it a minute now. I started and I finished now. No more folding the dough that I'm holding. I think I'm gonna start me a business now. I'm worried about fitness now. My stomach ridiculous now. I get it, I flip it, I flips it. I think that I'm finished now. What you want ain't always what you need, and what you need ain't always what you want. If they try to make you play the back, tell them that Rosa Parks sat in the front.
My brothers chose different roles, so we don't grind together. But if we was broke together, we gon' shine together. I played my part from the start, none of time is better. So my love for rhyming will have me up in my prime forever. I was chasing these dreams and never slowed up. Stood tall through it all and never fooled up. I just gymming for Deddick, saving lettuce and stacking these casseroles so the chickens gon' lick the cold cuts. This time around I gotta make them sick. Rappers passing the casting call, don't make the script. You just gotta close your eyes and you can visualize it. Have you nodding to these bars before you make the wish. Just praying this city won't be the death of me. Got a strap on scepter and it's stressing me. So that look that I'm giving, it's like telepathy. A warning or a blessing, whatever, but ain't no testing me. Bazana pull his tech on you need be like he ain't earning stripes like a referee in the D-League. Bit whistle round the neck, hanging by the ropes. Make that blood splatter, leave you shatter like kaleidoscopes, fully automatic, my words hurt. Worse than a chick with a broken heart from her slurs. That's my word, I make words curve. So third verse, metaphors and similes is wavy, so the verbs surf. Them hammers hold rounds of applause, so give it up. Ain't got worried about me sounding it off. We talking down to the law while we handing them off. My middle finger to the sky, my other hand on my ball. It's like that. Believe they coming right back. If I rap about the truth, your favorite rapper might rap. So it's past stories and baiting to my expiration. I'm dreaming about the penthouses, but I rap the basement. Chiz told me that they tired of the old thing. Turn over and over, made our own lane. Stay true to my living like expensive denims. Cause I believe in my team, my music is religion. And when you really love rapping, brother, it ain't nothing. Killing them with wordplay, and this is just my introduction. Stay down, better hashtag it. That's the motto for the summer. I'm finally out my slumber like that.
Thank you for joining us, and wonderful, wonderful audience we have here today. Now, we have Grandma Diva, who has a message for her dear granddaughter Promise, and she wants Promise to understand what she's trying to say. You know the motto that we always tell people as, we're the elders. You do as we say, not as what we did. Don't follow our mistakes. We don't want you to make the same mistakes that we made. So guess what? Promise is going to have an exercise, and that exercise will be for her to write a song. And believe it or not, Promise has chosen to write a song on how he slid. He slid. That is what she wants to talk about. Woo! I am his side. You know what? You need to go to church talking girl, and he said put yourself really want me. In comparing yourself to some country chicken. Talk he likes all this. He want what he had at home. Promise I ain't raised I know like you ain't raised me like that. But he wanted all of this, Grandma. He gonna have to come I see can't me. Help it. If she couldn't take care of her man at home, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Jesus ain't got nothing to do. It got nothing to do with me. It got nothing to do with me, Grandma. Damn fool. Because somebody he should have said something. You know what? We was all the victims. She come on this show and she bop. We was the victims. He was saying that. But Promise ain't no victim. She not. You out here comparing yourself to a steak and some goddamn chicken tenders at Popeyes. I ain't some 2-piece, 4-piece. Her man slid. You know what? You need to go to church. Her man instead of put yourself grandmama in You want to slide?
Yeah.
So I can climb the beanstalk. I might let you slide. Wrap your form on. That's all I'm trying to tell my grandmama. I didn't break up his home. His home was broke up. His home was already over. Everything was out of the way when I met him. I didn't come in and tear the shit up. I ain't tear it up. It ain't my fault. Ain't nobody tell him to allow his tallywag. He should have just told the truth to all the women and let them make a decision. But see, then he had done got caught up with this one, that one, this one, this one, this one, that one, da 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 da.
I know you're tired of me playing around. I think it's time for us to settle down. But it's on me to be a man of me, yeah. And let you know I'm serious. I hope you really know what I feel. I know I mess up, baby, that's for sure. I don't need you walking out that front door. You ain't leave me. Please believe in me, yeah. And I'ma show you love like you've never felt before. Would you mind if I wiped you, baby? Would you mind if I iced you? I wanna rush, but I want you, baby. Would you trying to feel, baby, for a while. But it's just the same thing, every night a different plaything.
We coming in from the door, man, on folks them. Y'all already know, cuz. Yeah, 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 hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Hey, I rock all this white like I'm godly. Sushi gon' come with wasabi. Fresh off the steps of the porch. I walk out, get in a Porsche. Know that I'm using the force. Know that I mastered the course. Known as the plug and the source. Haters, they feeling remorse. This for my dogs in court. That's facing the judge and the jury. My brother, he made it in sports. And that's why he rock all that jewelry. She can remember me now. Know that my vision is blurry. I got these racks on me now. Know that the money done cured me. Know that I'm lit in my city. Know that I'm hot. Know that we poppin', man. Everybody chasing that clout. Running their mouth. Know I really feed the game. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hold up. We on the beaches and right off the coast. Down here in Florida, we doing the most. The hustle on South Beach just like a LeBron. You call it a pound and we call it a bomb. We at the lick and I'm working with chicken. Shout out my nigga from Memphis, they chicken. On my dog and themselves, know I know that they listening. Yeah, I'm on a new level just like I'm Hendrix. Straight from the gutter, we come from the trenches. We ball on these niggas, they sit on the bench. They using the style and I swear I ain't landed. We pushing the P and the P is for profit. They watching and listening, now look how they copy. They hate and respect it, but gotta acknowledge me. Know that a nigga be doing a lot. Know that I'm lit in my city. Know that I'm hot. Know that we poppin', man. Everybody chasing that clout, running their mouth. Know I really feed the game.
I just need you to ride with me so I get myself out this hub.
Can I talk to him? Let me talk to him. I want it all for real. Got a new crib, new keys. I want it all for real. Got a whole fam to feed. Tell ya I ball for real. Look, I want it all for real. Look, I'm going hard for real. Look, I'm getting all the deals. Yeah, I want it all for real. Got a new crib, new keys. I want it all for real. Look, got a whole fam to feed. Tell ya I ball for real. Look, I want it all for real. Look, I'm going hard for real. Look, I'm getting all the deals. Yeah, I want it all for real. Got a new crib, new keys. I want it all for real. Look, got a whole fam to feed. Tell ya I ball for real. Look, I want it all for real. Look, I'm going hard for real. I'm getting all the deals. Yeah, yeah. I'm watching my moves, I'm paying my dues. I tell ya I'm running it up, yeah. Watching this paper, I'm chasing. You know that I'm running it up, yeah. You know I ain't giving no fucks, yeah. Telling my people don't crash. I want you to know that we on one. I want you to keep it in the bag. Look, no hate, no faking. Just know we great, and I'ma work this thing around, then lift it up and shake, 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 shake. Watch this thing go quake, 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 quake. Pop a shit, no bricks. I'm hood rich, ain't no playing around. I'ma pop my shit, cause I be taking them down, and I'll be breaking them down. Nice body, real fit, caking by the pound. Get a man real quick, look. And if he nice, I do it right and do it all the time. You ain't gotta ask, it's on my mind already. Let's get this paper, baby. You know I'm boss heavy, heavy, big facts, big racks, Maserati. I want it all for real. Got a new crib, new keys. I want it all for real. Got a whole fam to feed. Tell ya I ball for real. Look, I want it all for real. Look, I'm going hard for real. Look, I'm getting all the deals. Yeah, I want it all for real. Got a new crib, new keys. I want it all for real. Look, got a whole fam to feed. Tell ya I ball for real. Look, I want it all for real. Look, I'm going hard for real. Look, I'm getting all the deals. Yeah, I want it all for real. Got a new crib, new keys. I want it all for real. Look, got a whole fam to feed. Tell ya I ball for real. Look, I want it all for real. Look, I'm going hard for real. I'm getting all the deals. Yeah, yeah. I want it all for real. new crib, new keys. Look, got a whole family to feed. Tell you I ball for real. Look, I want it all for real. Look, I'm going hard for real. Look, I'm getting all the deals, yeah. Getting all the deals, yeah. Using all my skills, yeah.
Alright. Superstar Hollywood nigga. I'm back in this bitch, nigga. Fuck with y'all niggas start, nigga. Like what? I learned a recipe, they can't get next to me. They say it's specialty, they cannot stop it. I'll get the trap money and all the rap money, stacking my money away in my options. Told her to give me a chance, did my little dance and ran it up, now I'm a problem. Told that little bitch that I'm cool on the pussy, cause spend a little son, bitch, I want them dollars. You know how I'm rocking, yeah. Shut up and pay me, yeah. You ain't got motion, yeah. The fuck is you saying, yeah. You know how I'm rocking, yeah. Shut up and pay me, yeah. You ain't got motion, yeah. The fuck is you saying, yeah. I jumped in this bitch with no handouts. I boomed on the queue till it ran out. I'm stacking up every little penny, nigga. Me and Abraham licking that pan out. I caught me a bow and they look back. Like the castle behind me, it ran down. Convicted fellas that toting this weapon. Let a nigga try and this man down. They overlook me, then I'm looking over them. If I'm in the spot, you know I got my pole in there. I want nothing but money, but the bitch is so bad. I'm like, hold on, bitch, please don't you go nowhere. I get it top, I hit from the back, and then I'm like, damn, bitch, you gotta go somewhere. Was affiliated with the associates, then I bossed up and now I'm controlling it. That motion, abracadabra, hocus.
Maserati, she didn't even dry yet. At the clay port, about to hop on that private jet. More Gucci than the tampon, F you in your deadline. Real rap, Kanye lost his damn mind. Hustle hard, get that cake right. Maggiano's for dinner, that's a date night. About to get it in, you know about them date nights. Her money long like them Escalade brake lights. This is real rap, far from the movies. I need the real thing, need no groupies. All she won is a millio Gucci. I went to Saks Fifth and I bought all the Gucci's. I'm content, yeah, I fiend more. I used to have more hoes than the screen door. I was too on, I was too gone. I stayed woke like a parent with a newborn. Shout out to the ones that's incarcerated. I'm crazy, I should go get evaluated. I thank God, every day I made it. My hair pretty like me and Rick Fox related. Hustle with starve, yes I'm fresh. Burberry Pico, Burberry scar. Clean, no slate, no drama, no scandals. High like the last key on the right side of the piano. The streets mad and real, and you won't see the flames. But I promise it's hot like a gas grill. I stay high like a gas bill. Still hungry, when I eat like it's my last meal. Still kicking off a last pill. Time to lift up a skirt and see how that ass feel. A lot of real estate bought from my last deal. Big house, a lot of acres out in Nashville. Well, South Philly, yes. We got one, Mr. Lamar, just playing with him. Uncle Charlie in the building. R.I.P. in the building. Caddy. Yes, sir.
I know exactly what they want. I know exactly what they want. Just be patient. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me, y'all keep the fame. I want the glory, been that nigga, bitches never ignored me. Rich in spirit, little bitch can't afford me. Day one static, fix it with a 4G. Red beam on it, you think I'm recording. Kicking front doors, you try to backdoor me. We are not a gang, bitch, we an army. Book a den, you know I don't tell stories. Keep it 100 in the lightning, you niggas fake. Baby K name Adonis, mini Drake. Clip curl, but somehow I can shoot it straight. Insta clip, I can shoot 4 minutes straight. Turn this to the Super Bowl if I need to. I can hit your chief up with an eagle. Set you up on the score, but they lied to you. Why you letting them niggas mislead you? My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. downs, my name did more for me. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs, my name did more for me. You won't see it coming, I move like a crook, a thief in the night. So watch what you put, my aim precise. These bullets 12 inches long, a block away I could take off the foot. Don't ask me no questions if you know my stance. Bitch, I'm the man, so thanks in advance. They mean a rifle on top of a tripod. If they ever tell you I was taking a stand, think I run up on me, but I'm way too advanced. Spinning with choppers, turn you into a fan. Can show you the steps, but won't hold your hands. They thought they could stop me, it ain't go as planned. How I get this far? Cause I took a chance. Really got ranked, keeping it a band. This ain't what you think, better think again. This ain't what you think, you better think again. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs, my name did more for me. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs, my name did more for me. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster.
Hey. still on the phone. I'm still having